Kosala.
I've been looking for feel good, it's still hood. Fresh, leaving no prints like Uncle Phil would. I feel it under my chest, I'm getting further from death. I see his water protecting me like a shield would. Lot of rain, keep the feel good. We gotta bang just to feel good. They bang the set, keep a drumstick tucked to the chest. And them symbols, just a symbol for the love for the metal. Glitter with bezels, find Nirvana in a speaker. And my love for the ghetto, builders dilapidated, bass rattle, trunk with the treble. At the corner we would try to be rebels, cussing loud, smoking papers. Who'd have thought that these devils had us under their clutches? Guess the score wasn't settled. We the pray, so we praying in the hood, but we patiently waiting. Say the Shema when I rise, keep me away from the Satan. Put your spirit on my mind, give a song for salvation. Yeah, the sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. No, you still got hope. I said you still got hope. The sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. No, you still got hope. I said you still got hope. Rise and shine, put your makeup on. Baby girl, why you take so long? Had a vision of an angel, I forgot how she looked. Cause I saw you when my brain clicked on. Now I sing this song, yep. Rise and shine, get your makeup on. Baby girl, why you take so long? Had a vision of an angel, I forgot how she looked. Cause I saw you when my brain clicked on. Now I sing this song. Yeah, like Lottie Dottie, got the spirit riding shoddy with me. She a baddie, take her to parties with me. Help me focus on my studies, and we always see the darkest secrets. We read at night when the Father teaching. We keep it light, trying to brighten the night, even though stress is mounting. Had encounters on the devil's mountain. Felt the trouble when I stepped in the door, and I should have never doubted. He sent an angel, and I felt his power, still got hope. The sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. No, you still got hope. I said you still got hope. The sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. No, you still got hope. I said you still got hope. On that day, then every nation and kindred would take a bow before the Lamb and come and learn from the Spirit. It don't matter what you witnessed before. If you're living, then you still got hope. Yep. On that day, every nation and kindred will take a bow before the Lamb and come and learn from the Spirit. It don't matter what they witnessed before. If you're living, then you still got hope. Yeah. It's brought around over here on this table. We want to make sure that everybody can line up and just get through smoothly. Put the plates, the forks, all that, line all that up. Hold on real quick. Hey, move the tables over around the side like that. Yeah, because you got to make sure the walkway is clear for people to get to the front. And then when we line up and do the prayers, we're probably going to like have everybody come around this way. And then we'll have Adawan Kanal do the prayers on that side. They'll start from the left and come all the way down. Yeah. Y'all love the feast days.
It means so much more when it's pure. Stolen identity. When the Father not your arm, you got limited reach. Still in the streets, Roman soldiers killing the sheep. The Almighty watching close as he sits in the seat. The shepherds beside him. There's an angel with a book who chose to believe and who never decided. In the belly of them ships with a special assignment. I know it's chains on us now, but it's heaven inside us. A generation that'll do what we never accomplished. returning to the words that he said in his promise. In captivity with Torah, spreading his knowledge through faith in Hamashiach, cause his message is honest. There'll be platforms where they can reach millions. Daniel 12 verse 4, a great revealing, a great awakening. Rise, don't stay asleep, children. The solid rock is your foundation. Keep building. One by one, back on the Father's time. The sun and the moon bear witness, Abba providing signs. Changing the times and laws, witness they idols rise. Constantinian rules, but we gon' silence the lies. How to survive, you gon' make it if Abba's your guide. Identity crisis, Ruach, breathe life in the tribes. Put your vices aside and let righteousness thrive. Made in his likeness, ain't no dimming the lightness inside. Good or evil, Abba gave us the right to decide. Plan B, already had a sacrifice to provide. 2 BC, you couldn't miss it, a sight in the sky. A star headed east from Shinar, he finally arrived. Year 4000, a virgin gave life to the vine. Deliverance for captives, sight to the blind. I'm convinced it's the spirit that's writing these rhymes. Jacob's ladder, just imagine the height you could climb.
Man, I've been waiting all day to get in this book. Let's get it. Where we at? Proverbs.
It means so much more when it's pure. You can tell when it's inspired by the spirit. 22 letters as I open up this scroll. Could've asked for anything, but you want wisdom. That's impressive, he gon' trust you with his riches. Come to this wedding, bring your all, he about to visit. Don't know what's coming, I just know it feel different. 60 seconds to midnight, the last minute. Yeah, this that music you can fast to, study to this. I pray it's motivation for my brother and sis. Forgive your enemies, they know not what they do. Cause really they don't know who they coming against. Let's study. Wisdom is the principal thing. I read the book, close up the scriptures and think. This off the top of my head. Let the spirit speak. Just saying what I think off the top. I constantly see when I'm moving forward. Narrow path. And the Father showed us where we going through the prophets. They spoke thousands of years ago. Fast forward, now here we go. Look at us, we becoming ancient. Look at the looks on my brothers' faces. Can't believe we really here and that we living this. No more pride, no more bitterness. Training our children up in the way that they should go. Maintain your innocence. Do his commandments with diligence. We stepped out on faith and we've been winning since. Yeah. If you lost your way, just start at Genesis.
What's up? I'm Mr. Smooth Like Butter. I just got out the shower, about to step out a little bit. Let me tell you about one of my products. Fellas, let me introduce you to Hollywood by Smooth Like Butter. It's inspired by Gucci Guilty. And if you know about Gucci Guilty, you know this smells good. It's an all-natural product. We use 3 exotic butters and 4 oils: shea butter, mango butter, avocado butter, aloe vera, jojoba oil, vitamin E, and almond oil. You see, when you rub it into your skin, it gives you that nice healthy glow. You can put it in your beard, you can put it in your face, you can put it in your hair. It's for your whole entire body. So fellas, if you want to smell good, have your skin feeling right all day, all night, make sure y'all go to our website, www.smoothlikebutter.com, and get your Hollywood by Smooth Like Butter.
it out in my ride. So much on my mind, just trying to catch a vibe. Thinking about my people, it seems they all blind. They thinking they know the truth, but no, not up to 12. Try. Some say we a nation that's built up on tribulation. Some say we was taken and put in this situation. I say honestly, man, it's a little bit of both. Just take it from a nigga who parents native and Haitian. White folks stole my people's land, but we gon' take it back, cause the Most High put the power in our hands. Yeah, we going straight reprimand, cause the people did us dirty and never got punished. From here to France, they out here preaching peace, but to us ain't none given. Convince us to protest, but disregard how we living. Well, soon y'all gon' know how we feeling. Yeah, how is coming back to prove to you that you ain't been forgiven. I'ma break it to you now that with this joint ain't no hook. The aristocrats on the mic pushing them words like a book. I'm anointed and I'm a saint and I got these niggas shook. I'm a Danite prince of the power and I can't be forsook. I think it's unfortunate that y'all couldn't face the facts. You so confused, you can't seem to break down Romans and Acts. When I teach, y'all got me losing all of my patience. Hear the word Israelite and then it turns to Galatians. Honestly, y'all need to do some investigating. My people acknowledge but still fighting for education. Broke them shackles off of my mind and set me free. Now, Father, y'all got me thinking immortal relation. Try and wake y'all up, but you suckers being complacent. Shot that nigga in the street, but how you grew up's adjacent. Take a nigga life for a little bit of wealth just to spend that shit and move back into your mama's basement. Now you become a Muslim so that your life don't get taken. Boy, assalamu alaikum, bean pies, green eggs, and bacon. Allah just the title, not the name of the Most High. You a Israelite, soon to be seeing revelation. Hey, now they saying the prince is lyrical. I'm ruling this thing, but it ain't nothing empirical. Yahweh shots at the comforter, got me feeling spiritual. Yasha Allah on the rise, I ain't even hit the pinnacle. Hey, y'all know ain't too many better than I start watching on this mic, I even got a letterman. Skills concrete solid, I ain't talking settlement. Repping the Anointed House, man, you know we killing it. Hey, this time around, y'all better get a ticket. This youngin' hit a bomb like the 96 Olympics. Mess with the men of the Lord, might end up in the clinic. We taking the kingdom soon, 1 hour, 0 minutes.
Hey, shalom, shalom, everybody. Shalom, everybody. Welcome back to another Milk Monday. I am the co-host, Brother Knock, Officer Knock. I'll be joined here soon with Captain Eliel for tonight's class. But before we get started, we're going to first give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Amashak Yahweh Shai. Also want to thank everybody for being diligent, being here as always every Monday. But I do want to apologize. We skipped a Monday. We were not able to have class, so we're going to apologize for that, Salaki, for that. But we're back. First, let me do something real quick. Can everybody put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? I did not get a chance to check my mic. Can everybody put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? Hold on, because I don't hear myself. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Can everybody hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, sounds like I got an okay. Cool. Y'all slow with the ones, man. But hey, tonight's class is titled, Can You Cook on the Sabbath, Yes or No? Captain's going to come out with a not too long of a lesson. This is something that we've gone over before. So, but of course, we always come out with lessons, reminding each other of the scriptures and what the scriptures say, right? So, but before we go to that, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up real quick because we're at the end of our feast day calendar pretty much because we got some dates coming up. And let me bring Cap up. You ready, Cap? I'm going to bring you up now. Bring you up. All right, there he is. Shalom, shalom. Hey, before I even go there, everybody like, share, subscribe, all right? Like, share, subscribe. That's how we get people to see these videos. That's how we get people to see these classes, to get edification. So please like, share, and subscribe. Where was I going at? All right, let me go ahead and pull this calendar up real quick just to give y'all a visual of the dates we have coming up and what's going on. There we go. So 2025. We're at the end of the feast day calendar, right? All right, so we have, what do we have coming up? We have Feast of Dedication. We have the Feast of Dedication coming up on December 15th. All right. That will lead into our 10th moon, which is December 19th. So we will be congregating for Feast of Dedication. This will be taking place in North Carolina at our school in Greensboro, North Carolina. If anyone is able to attend, we would love to have you there. Just drop us a note, let us know. You can send us through email, or you can contact. I'm sure some people may have contacts either through email or some of the brothers through phone and things like that. Let us know, and we can be prepared for when you come. But we will be gathering for Feast of Dedication. December 15th is the Feast of Dedication, and we'll be taking that right into our new moon, our 10th new moon, 10th month, December 19th. All right, and then we going back around again to the beginning of the feast days. So all praises for that. Let me pull this down, get this out the way. Okay, how many people we got in the chat? Looks like we got about 17 in the room. Hey, we got 17 people here. We should have 17 likes. I think we may have that. Let me check. Let me see. We got 17 likes. We ain't got 17 likes yet. We should have at least 17, 18 likes or so. All right. But let me go ahead and give shout out to those who are here today, who are here tonight. All right. Let's give the first shout out to our brother Nazar. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom. Shalom to the mighty soldier Nadiyah. Shalom. Shalom to the lovely Sister Rose. Good to see you, Sister Rose. Shalom to that mighty brother Azariah. Azariah, shalom to you, brother. Shalom to Soldier Gary. Shalom to Captain Shaquat. Shalom. Who else we got? Shalom to that mighty brother DTA Twan. Shalom to you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shalom to Ak of Rectitude. Shalom, shalom. Let's see who else we got. I think that's about it right now. Oh, no. We got Sister Devora. Shalom to you. Shalom, sis. Good to see you also. Anyone else, if you haven't put anything in the chat yet to have you, so I can shout you out, I can do it at the end of class. We're going to go ahead and get started. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started with class. Again, tonight's lesson is, can you cook on the Sabbath? Yes or no? With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Captain. Shalom, Cap. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. Can everybody hear me?
I can't hear you.
All right, cool. Let's make a show. All right, man. Shalom, shalom. Like the brother said, I want to start by giving all praise, honor, glory to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? I know some of y'all going to be, because of the whole doctrine thing and the language stuff that's going on, right? Some of y'all going to be Yahuwah, I don't know, bro. Y'all going to be Yahuwah.
Yahusha.
Well, I didn't watch the video, so I don't know which name he said was the correct name. Can y'all tell me which name Zion said was the right name? What's up, baby? Shalom to Amber. Amber, be real in the building. Why the hell that's what's your name say right now? I don't know. But yeah. Neriah.
Yeah, on that real quick, what you just said. Real quick, on that, you see everybody's tag has the at sign instead of just
so it's got the ats instead of their name. Okay,
yeah. So YouTube has changed something. I don't know why they did it that way, but yeah, that's what that is.
All right, makes sense. But yeah, I didn't even realize that. But so before we get into the whole lesson, right, on can we cook on the Sabbath day, I want to talk on this thing right quick for like 5 minutes, literally 5, maybe 10 minutes. On the Zion Lex thing, right? I spoke to Ariala too, so I know he's doing his peer review now. He should be speaking on some things that me and him spoke about. But he, mentions me or not, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you guys get the facts, right? And the reason guys in like on my side of the community, our side of the community rather, don't really deal with Zion Lex and his scholarship is because a lot of it is based off of what the white man has taught, right? Same thing with the Divine Prospect, right? No offense to Divine, because I actually rock with Divine a lot, right? Learn from him and all that type of stuff. And we've spoken, he's watched my videos, all that type of stuff before too. But the fact of the matter is we differ on a lot of things, mainly because of the difference of school of thought in whether to believe the white man on certain things, right? Now, one thing that not Divine, but
What's up? I'm Mr. Smooth like.
Oh, that ain't what that is. My bad. I was trying to find out what that was. Can you remove that real quick?
Yeah, I'm about to go ahead there now.
Thanks. But one thing that Zion Lex did was he brought up a what he called a Samaritan, right? After going on a rant about how Israelites in the camp community don't have a scholarly reputation or a academic learning of the language, right? From from the standpoint of academia, and that he's stood before all these Jewish people and learned the language and this, that, and the third. Well, the thing is, right? And what he's like explained about uh Yiddish was correct because I've explained that to you guys before, right? But the thing that he didn't explain was there's history, right? Those people that he's learning from, they're not speaking the original language. They're speaking a language that was there for them to speak at the time that they got there, right? Same thing with the Samaritan that he brought on. I'm going to read you guys something from ChatGPT that I inserted based off of hearing this guy speak and my own knowledge of Babylonian people that I dealt with when I was in college, right? Because I do have an academic background, right? So I just want to play this real quick so that y'all can hear it, right? And then I'm gonna make my comment.
That was it. To be the Assyrian characters, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
in reading these characters,
Hold on, let me see.
Cap, can you enlarge it?
could you?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me find the right spot.
That's very similar. That's straight.
Okay, here we go.
Would sound with ancient Hebrew.
Yes. So in ancient Hebrew, in Samaritan Hebrew, it would sound like this. We say, Barashet bara eluim it ashamim with aris. Waris ayata te'u be'u. Washek alfani tum.
Now, when you listen to certain words he's saying, it sounds like it could be, common contemporary Hebrew mixed with the Elamite language, mixed with Assyrian or Babylonian, right? If you know any of those languages, that's what it sounds like. Let me play the part with Zion Lex where he says what he says. Then we're going to play the whole thing. I'm going to let y'all just hit this whole part. Let me see if it's going to work. All right, listen.
Tell us how this would read, how it would sound with ancient Hebrew.
So you heard Zion Lex say it, right? In the way it sounds. Now I want you guys to hear exactly what this dude sounds like, how different it sounds. And I'm going to explain why, right?
Yes.
Based off history that we've taught you guys in this class about the Babylonian and Assyrian captivities and what happened to them, things you could find in the Bible. And I want to make something clear, right? Another reason why we on this side don't deal with Zion Lex is because until a couple years ago, he was an Old Testament only Israelite, right? He used to do debates. For those of you guys that don't know this guy, he got known doing debates with on Sinet's channel, right? The same way a lot of you guys that are new to the community learned about Priest Daniela or General Hashar or any of those guys, right? Nasi before he became a pedophile and all these other people, right? That were in the Israelite community that were getting up on there. Even Priest Sabbath, he was the first guy from the Israelite community to get on Sinet's channel for those of you guys that don't know. So that's how his name got big. So the way it worked was Zion got up on there and was an Old Testament guy, right? Ended up having debates with brothers like Priest Daniela and Hashar and other people, Gorilla Hebrew and them, right? And he lost the debates and ended up becoming a, Messianic Jew, if you will, right? But the people he still decided to learn from weren't the people he lost the debate from, right? Or lost the debate to, rather. It was people in the other community. You feel me? So, I think it was disingenuous, right? And I might have my own conversation with him about this, but to Abaya, right? I think it was disingenuous to make it seem like the brother did so great and everything like that on this presentation, right? Zion Lex is good for he's known for having great presentations, but not really being able to have information in the presentations that actually backs up when it's scrutinized, right? Which, if you guys get to Ariala's video, he's going to scrutinize it pretty well. And when they get face to face on the next little recording or show that Abaya and them are gonna have on Inside the Nation, you're gonna get to see how the things that Zion Lex has said in his beautiful presentation, they don't hold up when scrutinized face to face with somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, right? So, yeah, that's how that works. But I want to show you guys something. After you guys hear what this fake Samaritan sounds like, right, and how it doesn't even sound that similar to what Zion Lex has said. He's going to try to make it seem like it sounds similar, but it doesn't really sound similar at all. The reason why is because the phonetics or the phonics rather of the phonics system of Hebrew that Zion Lex is speaking is a phonics system based off of contemporary vowels, right? And contemporary characters. New letters that didn't exist during the time of the Paleo Hebrew, like E, like O, like I, right? So you. So these are all characters that we didn't have back then, right? Which is why we like to say things like it doesn't have vowels. If you look up the ajab, right, you see that the ajab even mentions that the Hebrew and the Phoenician didn't have vowels. It was up to the person speaking to interpret whether to put vowels there or not. So an example of somebody doing that and not doing that would be the word man in English is spelled M-A-N. The way that they tell us to pronounce it is M-A-N. Well, if you're Jamaican, you say man, M-O-N, man. That's how you pronounce it, right? Does the word become different because somebody says it man or man? No. If I'm from the Watchman for Israel, I'm going to say the word man because, that's what they say, man, right? So does it mean that they saying a different word than me? No, it doesn't. So that's what we have to understand. It's the phonics, right? You can decide whether to make it a O or an A and make it sound like a O or an A, even though in the English the word is pronounced with the A. And it doesn't mean that the word is different if you pronounce it differently. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato, right? It's different phonic sound, but it's not a different word. So one point that he made before I let you guys hear this thing, right? And we get into the actual lesson. One point that he made was that the Yiddish uses the characters of the Hebrew, but it doesn't sound the same, right? Well, what we're going to show you guys, right? And I'm sure what Ariel is going to show you guys after the video and information that I presented to him today is that the Samaritans, right? Though they've preserved the Paleo Hebrew characters, just like we have, right? They don't use the Paleo Hebrew phonics like we do, right? So what dudes like Zion Lex do that learned from the crackers how to speak Hebrew is they'll try to tell us, well, we're not using the vowels correctly because they're learning from people that only spoke vowels, right? And then they try to say, well, the Samaritans use Paleo Hebrew and they don't speak it like you guys. Well, I'm about to prove to you via history and via Chat GPT that the Samaritans of today don't speak the Paleo Hebrew with the phonic sounds that the Paleo actually originally used. They use phonic sounds from the Babylonians. Why? Because the Babylonians and Assyrians were known for inserting people that aren't Israel into the land of the places that we call the Samaritans, right? The places where the Samaritans lived, rather. So the people that were the Samaritans during the time of Christ, one of the reasons why it was told not to mess with them, even though niggas like Paul was coming up on the scene, is because these weren't actually Israelites, the mass majority of them. They were heathen, which brings more light to the proof as to the doctrine that some of the niggas are teaching right now never did make sense, and it don't make sense even through the time of Jesus, because you see them going to the way of the Gentile, but you don't see them going to like a bunch of Samaritans. You see one or two of them show up that clearly have the spirit of Israelites because of the way they act, but then you see people within the way of the Samaritans, and they're not waking up all of those people, right? In fact, when you look at the land and where Samaria was, in places that Paul himself went to, the prophet of the Gentiles, he passed a lot of those places. Straight up walked right through them on the map. Same thing with the other brothers, the disciples, right? And the apostles. So, like, this is what we have to understand. There's a misconception with the argument he was giving, right? Especially when he brought this cracker on the screen, right? where he tried to tell you guys that okay, this guy is he's a real Samaritan, and the way he speaks isn't using the phonic sounds of da and I. He used u, free, tu, li, fi, tu, avu, kawa, right? That's not Hebrew. It's Babylonian. If you were to sit next to a Elamite, the language sounds the same. Their phonic sounds would sound very similar because I forget what the Indian language is called or what their script is called, but whatever it's called, right? It comes from them being in the Assyrian and Babylonian empires. It's a mix of those languages when you look it up, which is why their phonic sounds the same as what this guy's about to say. So I'm going to rewind it, let you guys hear Zion one more time, and then I'm going to read you what ChatGPT said, and then we're going to get to why you can cook on the Sabbath day. Spoiler alert.
ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה
Oh.
ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו.
So he used 3 phonic sounds. Ha, or 4. Ha, aretz, tu, or whatever, really that's it, because the uvu and fuhu, yeah, that's all ooh. So he's got let's hear it again, just so I can make sure I say it right.
ואת הארץ,
All right, wet, het, a, ha, vets, right? So he's got ha, he's got et, vet, et, right? And he's gonna say words with u. So et, ha, and u are the 3 phonic sounds he's going to use, right?
הארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו, וחושק על פני תהום, ורוח אלוהים.
U, a, et.
מרחפת על פני המים. Tell us how this would read, how it would sound with ancient Hebrew.
U, a, et.
Yes. So in ancient Hebrew, in Samaritan Hebrew, it would sound like this. We say, Barashet bara
Boro. So o,
eluim. It
lu, m, lo, u, m. So far, nothing like what he said. A, u, et. Lo, u, m. Okay?
Eshamim with Aris.
So he's got oretz, because almond is u, am. Oh, well, am. So lo, u, etz.
Waris ayata te'u
Oretz, okay. Wa, so wa is o. Yeah, all right, okay.
be'u. Washeka.
And then u, umbeu, right? That ain't nothing like what homeboy said. It's totally different. And the letters are o and u and all that stuff, right? It ain't a and a da. And I'm about to show you why it doesn't sound like etz in I or u, right? Like he would use in the contemporary Hebrew. It ain't the same. Why? Because he's actually speaking with the Babylonian phonic system. I'm going to prove it.
Alfani tum.
Alfani tum. That's there's East Indians that use that. Right?
Ru eluim.
The way you say mango in whatever the East Indian language is ein, right? And the way you say wet is gila. So gila ein, right, would be how you say it in that Indian language. And I think if you was to use like gila ein ifriti, something like that, it's like wet mango spicy or something like that, right? So the phonic system is similar to what homeboy is saying. They use the lu, the u, the ats, the ets, all that stuff, just like he's saying, because they got their phonic system also from the Babylonians, right? It's totally different than what homeboy was saying. That's because the phonic system of the contemporary Hebrew doesn't come from Babylonian. It's a mix of what the old phonic system would have sounded like with the Paleo Hebrew, with the addition of vowels that weren't around during the Paleo Hebrew time, like e, which is how we have the ets, or u, which is why we have the u, or what he said, which is a sound that we make, and ein, right? So those are two that we had before, right? So they have the addition of new characters, right? The Greeks made the o, the I came from the Latin, and the E came from the Latin. So those are three characters that are not like they evolve over time, right? So therefore they got added into the Hebrew. Therefore, since they had the addition of new characters, you have to give them sounds. So there's new sounds that we didn't have during the Paleo, right? But again, I'm going to show you guys the Babylonian phonic system.
That's very similar. That's strikingly similar. I mean, there are some differences, obviously. Like
he had to admit there's differences because it's differences. It's not strikingly similar. If you look at it by his face, I think he's like, it didn't sound that damn similar to me. The reason it didn't sound that similar, brother, is because, well, let me read this to you. So, and I sent it all to Ariala, so don't know if he's going to show it all, but I know he's got it all for sure. So look, let me pull it up here. Hold on. Might not be able to show it, but I'm going to read it. So, just so y'all see, right? It's Chat GPT. I got, right, whole conversation, just like the last time. So, here we go. I asked, the writing sounds, right, of the Samaritans. Is Samaritan Hebrew Paleo Hebrew, or is it Assyrian, or is it mixed with Assyrian, or is it just straight up Paleo Hebrew, right? It tells me short answer, it's mixed with Assyrian, but not exactly the way usually described, right? So I asked to explain. It says Samaritan Paleo Hebrew versus Assyrian script. The Paleo Hebrew is the original ancient Hebrew script used by the Israelites before the Babylonian exile, right? So keep that in mind. Before the Babylonian exile, we use the Paleo Hebrew, right? Because even after the Assyrian captivity, there's something called the Assyrian Hebrew script that comes around, right? Which then manifests into the Babylonian Hebrew script. So it's a Hebrew script that's got like a little bit of an Assyrian Babylonian type of twist to it. Some of you might have seen it before, right? And then they have the newer Hebrew, which is the Paleo Hebrew with the straighter characters and stuff like that, right? So it's explaining to you this. So any of these guys that tell you the Paleo Hebrew never existed, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. If they try to tell you that the phonic system of the Paleo Hebrew is the same as the contemporary Hebrew, like Zion Lex tried to tell you, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. It can't be because the characters are different. Proof of that is the fact that these guys had to adopt another phonic system once they had new characters, which is about to explain to you, right? Zion didn't explain that to you, but Ariala will, right? So, Paleo Hebrew is the original ancient Hebrew script used by the Israelites before the Babylonian exile, 1000 to 586 BC, which includes 722 BC, right? Because, like I told you in history, sometimes they conflate Babylonian and Assyrian because the Assyrians were part of the Babylonian greater thing, or really the Babylonians come out of the Assyrians, if you be technical, right? So they're technically the same people, if we're being real, right? So that's why they conflate them as the same people sometime in history. Just like some people conflate the Romans and the Greeks as the same people, even though they're different, right? So it says, after the exile, most Jews adopted the Assyrian/Babylonian square Aramaic script. What we know or now call modern Hebrew block characters, right? So it's telling you that the block characters that we have doesn't come from Paleo Hebrew. It comes from the adoption of them having Assyrian, Babylonian, and Aramaic adoptions to the characters in the way that they wrote them, right? Let me see if I can find an example real quick. If y'all are in the building and you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. Y'all be liking everybody else's videos like mine. Damn it. No, I'm just playing. But hit the like button. It helps the video, the water. So let me see if I can find Assyrian Hebrew image. Come on now. Here we go. All right. Bow, bow, bow. All right. So look, you see the block script. This over here, right? That's what we use now. You see this? So we use now, right? But then you see this at the bottom. This is Assyrian, and it's got a little bit of like our characters, right? And then you've got this is it, right? So the Asherat, this is straight here. This is straight Assyrian, right? This is Assyrian Hebrew, and it's got characters just like the Paleo, right? So now, Babylonian Hebrew. This is what you see on some of the scrolls, right? It's a little bit different. Looks a lot closer to the block script that we had, right? Damn near identical. Okay. So that's the difference, right? Again, Zion, Pexi, Lexi, Petty Lexi didn't show you guys that because he makes great presentation, but leaves out a lot of information, right? So that's the sound. Let me finish reading this now. So where the Samaritans fit in? The Samaritans did not adopt the Assyrian script, but their phonic sound instead. Let me read this to you. It says, writing versus sound equals different histories. The Samaritans kept an older Hebrew style script from Paleo Hebrew, right? Which is why we have the Paleo Hebrew characters and everything, because they kept it. But their spoken pronunciation changed over time. Script stays conservative longer than speech. That's normal in languages. For example, the English language is still written the way we write it in America, and they write it the same way in England. It's using the same characters, but the difference in pronunciation is not the same. We speak it with a different pronunciation than they do. Hell, if I'm from Georgia and you from Baltimore, you speak the American English with a different pronunciation than I do. Right? So it kills me when niggas act like, oh, there's one way we have to say things, and this has to be that, and that has to be this. It don't work like that, right? So that's that. Let's get into the lesson now. I just wanted to show you guys that part, right? Like I said, other brothers will get more into it, but I brought it to them, so figured I'd show you guys from our angle first, because I'll probably go a little bit deeper than they will in the time that they had. So just want to read those scripts though, and yeah, the fact that he wasn't completely genuine with the language thing he was talking about. So can we cook on the Sabbath day? This was a topic a couple weeks ago that was big. I was going to do it last week, but I ended up having to go out of town. Had to go out of town today too. I just got back from Tennessee literally, less than an hour ago. So, but nevertheless, we're here. So can you cook? I know a lot of people was getting on UPK recently for having their cookouts on the Sabbath day. Well, whereas I don't condone having an actual cookout on the Sabbath day, because me and my pops grill every weekend, right? And grilling for a family can make you sweat. It can be some hard work, make you tired at the end of the day. So I can only imagine how tired the niggas is that's having to cook for 50, 60, 150 people, right? So I wouldn't do that simply because it can become work. But the question is the act of cooking itself work today? First thing, cooking is not a sin on the Sabbath day in the Bible. There's nothing in the Bible that says thou shalt not cook on the Sabbath day. The reason Israelites started teaching that you cannot cook on the Sabbath, and the Seventh-day Adventists don't teach this, is because of the word kindle, right? I'm going to be honest. I've said this many times. I'm going to say it again for this lesson. Niggas are not good at the English language. We're just not. It is what it is, right? We're not good at the English language. We read, you may not kindle a fire throughout your habitations in the King James Bible, and nobody looked up what kindling a fire actually is, right? So before we get into the lesson, knock, if you will, can you read me Romans chapter 4, verse 15?
Con.
Just to lay this out real quick before we get started.
Con. It's the book of Romans, chapter 4, and verse 15, and it reads, "Because the law worketh wrath, for where no law is, there is no transgression."
So where no law is, there is no transgression, right? So keep that in your mind as we go through this lesson. We're going to read it again later on, but keep that in your mind as we go through this lesson, okay? So where there is no sin, there is no transgression. Now, we're going to begin with the book of Exodus. Go ahead and get there, knock, chapter 20, verse 8. But hold it for a second, because I want to show you guys the word kindle and what it means so that you're prepared when you read this, right? As to why it reads the way it reads in the book of Exodus chapter 20 and the book of Exodus chapter 35, right? So, how do you kindle a fire? This is the modern day way to do it, right? This is right now, 2025. Feel me? Or whatever time since you've had Bic lighters or the little long ass Bic lighters that you can stick in the grill. You know what I'm saying? So it says to kindle a fire, you build it in stages. Start with easily ignitable tinder, dry leaves or lint, right? Like cotton balls or something like that. For those of you guys that don't know how to start a fire, if you pull up on this for tabernacles, whether in North Carolina or Georgia, typically North Carolina though, we'll be there to show you guys how to do all that type of stuff, right? So, thin layer, small, dry sticks, kindling over it in a crisscross or TP shape, right? Allowing airflow because you got a hole at the bottom. And finally, light the tinder to ignite and the kindling, right? Which is everything you got stacked up together. Gradually adding larger firewood as it catches, ensuring oxygen flow throughout, right? That's kindling today. Now, the question isn't how do you kindle a fire today? Because kindling a fire today ensures that kindling a fire would not be a sin. There's nothing that's hard work about that, right? And as we go through Exodus, what I want you guys to realize is that the things that they were telling us not to do in Exodus when it came to the Sabbath was pertaining to hard work, right? Laborious labor. Because the Sabbath is supposed to be a what type of day, knock?
Day of rest.
That's all it's for, guys. It's a rest day. The Sabbath was made for man, for him to rest and relax because you done did all your work them other 6 days of the week. The Most High rested on the seventh day. You're supposed to be like the Most High and rest on the seventh day too, right? Now, your rest could be a plethora of things, right? Doesn't have to be sleeping. Rest doesn't always mean sleep. Rest could mean peace, right? So things that give you peace could be something that you do on the Sabbath day, right? Some people like to cook. Brings them peace, right? So can I not cook on the Sabbath day? Because it brings me peace. The Sabbath's made for man. Well, you can't kindle a fire on the Sabbath day. It's bad to kindle a fire, right? How do you kindle a fire now? We just read it. Nothing laborious. But how do you kindle a fire in 4000 BC? Why would Moses have to say that? Because you ain't got no big lighters, right? For those of you guys that ain't been in the military, I wasn't, or wasn't a Boy Scout or didn't have a dad like mine, that just teach you stuff for no reason. So if you've never heard, right, there's two ways to make a fire kindling. There's the kindling we just read. Then there's the percussion kindling method, right? You might have seen it when you was watching Cadet Kelly when you was little on Disney Channel. She'd take the rocks and start banging them, try to make the fire, right? That's called the percussion method. Let me pull this up for you. Let me show you why Moses had to tell them not to kindle no fires in their habitation on the Sabbath day, the day of rest, right? How do you kindle a fire in 4000 BC? Well, people primarily made fire using percussion method, striking a hard stone like flint, which is also something mentioned in the Bible a couple times. I wonder why. Fire is very important in the Bible. We'll read a couple reasons why, Something else I want to point out that we're going to read. There's people that cooked on the Sabbath day. ordained by God.
Right.
So if God's not a respecter of persons, but there's people in the Bible, in the Torah, around Moses, related to Moses, that cooked on the Sabbath day, why can't we cook on the Sabbath day if making a fire isn't laborious? But before we get into that, let's finish what we're saying. So 4000 BC, percussion method, striking hard flint stone against iron pyrite, fool's gold, right? Fake gold or copper, if you're in the copper age, or something like that, right? To create sparks. Catching these sparks in highly flammable tinder, right? So get your twigs or your leaves or whatever you got around you, right? And you're having a till you get a spark. And if it's getting dark outside, you know what I'm saying? Which we always taught that the Sabbath starts at night, right? So it's typically dew outside. It's a little bit more moist, right? Outside in the air. It's harder to get that spark. You got to put in a lot more work, right? If I asked everybody watching the YouTube to just do their hands like this for 2 minutes, some of y'all would be out of breath. Your arms would fall off before the 2 minutes is even over with. Real talk. So to say, oh, killing a fire back then when the wind's blowing and it's moist outside and you've been working all week, you know what I'm saying? So you're probably sore. You know what I mean? Like how you feel when you go to the gym all the time. For those of y'all that go to the gym, right? Like, and then you got to beat the damn fire. And then you might have to do it more than once, depending on how big your habitation is. Like, no, that's a lot of work. So he said, you can't kindle no fire throughout your habitations because they had to use the striking percussion method back then. That was the only way to make a fire, right? And you got to gather all this stuff. So gather it plus put it to work. It ain't just like gathering sticks like I wish I did, where he's gathering something to, just throw on something. He's got to make it. You feel me? So blowing gently to form an ember, which was then transferred to kindling. So, and you got to blow on that joint. Feel me? Friction methods, hard hand drill, a bow drill also existed, but percussion offered a portable kit for reliable fire, crucial for warmth, cooking, and craft. Okay? So, now that we've read how they would kindle a fire back then, let's read Exodus. Go ahead, read that. Exodus chapter 20, verse 8.
Yeah, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. And it reads, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Con, all praise and success. I'll check it out.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Pause. The reason why, if we go to Numbers chapter 15, verse 16, right? Real quick. Another reason why that stuff that them other niggas was talking about don't make no sense, because, once we take hold of them people in Isaiah 54, by the time we get to Isaiah 56, they already captive. You know what I'm saying? They already been inherited by the Israelites in the kingdom. So them Israelites going to be making their people have to do this. Just like we was told they had to follow the Sabbath. Numbers 15 and 16. One law and one manner shall be for you and for the stranger that sojourneth with you. Right? So it's one law for me and for all. When they in the land, that's the plan. You dig? So this is what it is. We have to understand as the Israelites that there's laws, there's levels, right? Again, like we read earlier, where there's no law, there's no sin, right? It didn't tell you can't cook. It said you can't work, right? Where'd you stop at in Exodus?
Verse 8.
Keep going.
Slakia. No, I did not start that.
9.
I'm going to verse 10. Yeah.
All right. Read.
Verse 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. No, I'm Slakia. I'm
Just read that.
okay.
Just keep going.
In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Keep going.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day.
All right. So the point was the rest, right? Working and rest. Go to 35. Read 1 through 3. Real smooth. So I want you guys to understand the point of the Sabbath day, for those of you that don't know, is to rest from your work. For those of you that weren't in here, the reason why Moses told them not to kindle a fire throughout their habitations is because of the act and action of what took place when kindling a fire in 4000 BC. The only way to do it was the percussion method. You had to beat some damn stones together until you catch a freaking spark. And then the spark got to catch to the tinder that you got, whatever that was back then, right? It's moist on the ground. The wind is blowing. You ain't got no house. You got like a little tent. You in the wilderness. Like, bruh, depending on how good you was at making the tent, you might not have nothing really good at stopping the wind. So you just beating rocks all day long. And like I told you, if you wasn't in here, if you do that with your arms for 2 minutes, y'all niggas is going to be out of breath and have to go to bed and get off the class. So, like, don't try that at home. But that's what you would have to do to beat a fire. If you come Tabernacles, we'll show you, right? So, read.
Let me get that 35.
35.
Yeah. So this is the book of Exodus, chapter 35, and I'll start at verse 1.
1.
And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, These are the words which the Lord hath commanded, that ye shall do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
Okay, so work. Once again, he's emphasizing work, right? Go ahead.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the seventh day.
So wait. No kindling of fire throughout your habitations upon the seventh day. Why? Because once again, that action of kindling a fire, percussion method, you got to do work, laborious work, when you're supposed to be resting. It ain't easy, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And Moses spake unto all the congregation of the children of Israel.
Saying, no, that's it. That's all I want. It's 3.
Okay.
So look, watch this, because I want to show you guys something. It's not that we can't have a fire, right? Give me Leviticus chapter, actually, no. Give me 1 Chronicles chapter 9, verse 32. I want to show y'all this real quick, since we was talking about it, right?
Which verse is that?
1 Chronicles chapter 9 and verse 32.
Okay.
So we got the Levites, right? People related to Moses. Well, they cook showbread on the Sabbath day, right? We're going to read it in 1 Chronicles and 2 Chronicles. They cook showbread on the Sabbath day. They make burnt offerings on the Sabbath day. How you make a burnt offering if you can't have a fire?
Right.
You make it burn in ice or something? Give it. I don't know. Right? So these are things you got to ask. Damn. He's got a point. So they had a fire, but we can't have a fire. They can make showbread, but we can't cook. Well, what happened? Back then, they got to use the percussion method. So if you read, they already got the fire going, right? They cook the showbread because they keep the fire going, right? The fire don't go out. They ain't got to kindle the fire. All they got to do is gather some sticks, throw that junk on it, right? And we see Yahweh gather sticks. It wasn't a problem. Why? Because it's people that have to gather sticks on the Sabbath day that are Levites that have to keep the fire going. That's the only logical way to keep the fire going, is to gather sticks in 4000 BC. One law for all. If it had to be okay for them, it's got to be okay for Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? Y'all never been taught that like that because niggas don't think. But I'm gonna teach it like that because that's practical knowledge. Something the Bible teaches, right? And something our elders taught. That's facts. So, now here we go. Numbers. I just read that. Give me
You want
First
First
Chronicles chapter
Chronicles?
9:32. Read that.
Yeah, this is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 9 and verse number 32. And other of their brethren of the sons of the Kohathites
Yep.
were over the showbread to prepare it every Sabbath.
33.
And these are the singers, chief of the fathers of the Levites, who remaining in the chambers were free, for they were employed in that work day and night.
So there's niggas that work on the Sabbath day, and there's niggas that cook on the Sabbath day, right? Their work is not laborious, right? They're doing work for the Lord. That's why we could go to camp for you scoffing Negroes out there. How y'all niggas gonna go and be to camp on the Sabbath day? Y'all be standing up the whole time. Well, it's just like these niggas standing up singing in the synagogue, you duck monkey. Yeah, same thing, no difference. So they could be employed. If you're doing something for the Lord, we ain't getting paid for it, but it's an employment, right? And then the cooking. Well, they've got the fire going. They didn't have to beat it to make it, right? They didn't have to do laborious work and sweat, have to go get another tunic afterwards because the fire's going already, right? Give me 2 Chronicles chapter 2 and verse 4. Let's put some more context on the showbread part.
God,
right?
it's the book of
So we
Second
got
Chronicles.
singers singing and we got people cooking, huh? 2 Chronicles 2 and 4.
God. 2 Chronicles chapter 2 and verse 4. Now to him that worketh is now to him that worketh is the reward not reckoned of grace, but of debt.
To him that don't do anything, worketh. Go ahead.
But to him that worketh not, but believeth on him that justifieth the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness.
That's 2 Chronicles 2 and 4.
Oh, Salakia. I thought
that was a good
precept.
precept.
Was.
Yeah,
it was. That was actually.
Good precept, but that ain't what we looking for.
Salakia. Let me start. Did you want it 2 and 4? Yeah. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 2 and verse 4. Salakia. Behold, I build an house to the name of the Lord my God, to dedicate it to him and to burn before him sweet incense and for the continual showbread.
So look, there's a house built where you burning incense and continual showbread. And we just saw in 1 Chronicles that showbread even burned and is made and cooked continually with that burning on the Sabbath day. Yeah. So somebody, in order to burn some bread, you got to have a fire, my nigga. Even today. That's it's right. Called an oven, right? Okay. So now that we've established that, people are burning, cooking, singing, and employed on the Sabbath day, right? For the Lord.
Did you want to finish that or not? That's all you want.
Yeah, if there's anything else to read, go ahead.
Come, behold, I build an house to the name of the Lord my God, to dedicate it to him and to burn before him sweet incense and for the continual showbread and for the burnt offerings morning and evening on the Sabbaths and on the new moons and on the solemn feasts of the Lord our God. This is an ordinance forever to Israel.
All right. Forever ordinance that you're going to cook on the Sabbath day. Ding, 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 ding. So, why was it ever said in the Israelite community that we can't cook on the Sabbath day? Why was the Sons of Thunder Israelites the first niggas to tell you straight up that you can? And it was on Milk Monday, so I'm going to take credit for that. I'm just saying. Y'all can still, the video's still up there. But, what I want you guys to understand is this. This right here. There was a situation in the Bible with the quail. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. Y'all remember the quail? They don't remember the quail. Give me, they don't remember the quail though. Give me Exodus chapter 16, verse 11. We're going to talk about the quail. Y'all remember the manna?
God.
Hopefully y'all remember the manna. The manna and the quail went together, right? So we had the manna and the quail. You could eat on the Sabbath day, something from the Lord, right? You could cook the showbread on the Lord, on the day of the Lord, and eat it on the Sabbath day, right? But then we can't cook our own food on the Sabbath day because we can't kindle a fire in our habitation. But what if we have a fire already cooking in our habitation and we keep the fire going? Then can we cook? I wonder. You know why that didn't have to be a caveat? Because it's not a sin to cook. You know why Moses didn't have to explain that? Because it's not a sin to cook. The caveat, it really wasn't even a sin made to make a fire on the Sabbath day. He was telling them not to do it because of the action and what it took. What he was telling them what the sin was to not work. He was reminding them something that would be considered work is going to be kindling a fire throughout your habitations, because you got to I'm about to start sweating. Just that wasn't even a minute. Again, you got to remember, the wind's blowing, it's wet outside. Nigga, it rains on the Sabbath day sometimes. Like, you got to have that done already. You got to change your clothes 3 times. Some of y'all sweat a lot. Y'all still got pork in your veins. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have to change your clothes 4-5 times. Just, y'all know I ain't lying. So, we got to be honest, okay? That's laborious work. So, today, knock, you got a stove?
Gone.
You got a microwave?
I do, but I don't use it.
Okay, well, with your
Yeah, but I got
stove,
one.
right? With your
Gone.
stove, whether it's gas or electric, what you
Right.
do to cut it on? How you get the fire going? How you kindle the fire with the stove?
I either push a button or turn a switch.
Push a button and turn a switch. Do you ever start sweating?
Nah, not yet.
Do you ever feel like hard work?
La-uh.
Is the switch heavy and the button hard to push?
La-uh.
So it's easy, right?
Pretty simple.
So no hard work.
Not yet. I haven't experienced that yet. Nope.
So if the point of the Sabbath was to not work hard, but now technology has made it so we can make fire without it kindling. Hell, I showed you 2 definitions of kindling a fire, one for now and one for 4000 BC. Even kindling a fire in 2025 isn't hard work. You take some sticks, make a TP, leave a hole at the bottom, and take your Bic lighter and go. Or you take the long one and go. Right? That's it. Easy work. Nothing laborious. So it wouldn't be a sin. Hey, knock. You got a car? You ever heard of an ignition?
Gone.
What does an ignition do?
It starts your vehicle.
How does an ignition work?
Either you push a button or turn a key.
But I mean, how does it work? What is it? Like?
There's gas sent to some system and it sparks and starts the car. Yep.
Sparks what?
It sparks.
Do it spark ice?
No, sparks and makes a fire. Sparks and causes.
It's called
I don't
an
know
ignition.
what they call it.
What does the root word in ignition?
Ignite.
What the hell does ignite mean?
To light up.
Woo! So if we can't light a fire on the Sabbath day, you know all you niggas that teach we can't cook are in sin because you start your freaking car or you jump on the freaking bus or the train or a scooter or a motorcycle to get to camp, nigga. They all have ignitions, spark plugs. Yeah. So, you know, if you believe you can't cook on the Sabbath day, you also got to walk to camp.
Right.
Or take a horse or a donkey. Which I'm sure none of you niggas have. Something else. Knock, where you live?
I'm in Michigan.
Damn, it's cold, ain't it?
That's real cold.
Knock. How do you make heat in the house?
I have to turn the heat on. Turn a switch, or if I want to use an oven the old-fashioned way, turn the oven on with the switch.
Do you have a
Furnace?
furnace in your house?
Yes.
You got one of the old school ones that take fire and logs, or you got one of the ones that
No,
one
just
of the
got
new
a
ones?
just got a thermostat. You know what I'm saying? You just
All
push
right,
the
so
button
look,
on the thermostat.
when you go to your furnace, right, and you cut the heat on,
Mhm.
ain't there some vents at the bottom of that thing where you can see fire?
Absolutely.
Why is that? Is that fire fake?
Oh no, not at all.
So wait, if we
It's-
can't have a fire at all on the Sabbath day, but the Levites can, that not only makes God a respected person, but don't that also mean that we can't have the heat on in the wintertime on the Sabbath day, of course?
Now, how did they stay warm? How did they stay warm in the evening?
It's making a fire. I don't know. They ain't supposed to have it on. If they got it on, but they telling us we can't cook, they hypocrites. Something ain't right.
If you're out in the wilderness and it's cold, because it gets cold in the evening, right?
Yeah.
How do you stay warm?
Mhm.
You know, you gotta have something to warm.
He cut on and off. So like, if you
Right.
got to keep it on, if you following that old law like that, you got to keep the heat on so that the fire in the thermostat in the furnace keeps going, right?
Mhm.
You got to make sure it's on that level to where it never cuts off.
Right. There goes
When it
that
gets to the
bill.
temperature that it's supposed to be at, it can't cut off on its own. It got to go past the auto part. You know what I'm saying? Your house would be hot as hell by the end of the Sabbath.
Oh yeah.
Because he can't never cut off now.
And your bill will be expensive too.
Yeah, because
that bill gonna be high.
every week. So I mean, these are all things you have to put into perspective if you can't cook on the Sabbath day in 2025, without just realizing that the kindling part was for hard work. If the hard work and hard labor is not taken out of the equation, we can kindle, because kindling isn't hard work. The way I make my fire on my stove, look at the flick of the wrist, right? That's it. If I gotta do it more than once, that's it. If I cut on all the eyes, I still ain't get tired. My wrist don't hurt afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, it's levels to it. I ain't gonna say we gonna have an AHOS cookout on the Sabbath, because the cook might get tired. The guy flipping 50 burgers might start sweating. He might need to take a nap afterwards. It becomes laborious, right? But if you just cook it for yourself and 3 other people, your family, right? You don't never get tired doing that. That's your daily. It's regular. Take a couple minutes. Put it on the stove, go sit down. You ain't just work the day. You're supposed to be off, right? So it ain't no issue. Where there's no law, there's no sin. Y'all can't say cooking is a sin when there's no thing about cooking even in the thing Moses said. It was about working hard. We see people are allowed to cook on the Sabbath day. The Levites do it every Sabbath, continually, forever, as it said in 2 Chronicles, did it not?
That's right.
So it ain't gonna stop. Even in the kingdom, they're gonna be cooking on the Sabbath day. So these are things you have to understand, right? And like Cashapp said, if we can't cook on the Sabbath day, if I can't and the microwave start, or put some on the stove, warm it up. If I can't do that, then I better see a lot more of you niggas posting on y'all Facebook about it taking y'all 5 hours to get to camp now because you got to walk, my nigga. Because you can't cut that car on. There's an ignition and a spark plug. You making 2 fires on this Sabbath day. You damn sinner. How dare ya? You hypocrite in the sight of men. That's what it makes you if you believe that. Right? You got to change the whole doctrine like Genesis having to do right now. You're going to have to add things to go with that. Because if we can't cook on the Sabbath day, you better not get on that train. You get not bit on that bus. Better not get no plane. Gonna have to ride a bike or a donkey or a horse or your XL bully, your cane Corso. You're gonna have to ride something, but it can't be nothing with a spark plug and an ignition switch. So that's it. That's what I want y'all to understand. Okay. I don't even know if we need to bring out anything else. Like, put a 7 in the chat if you understand. Or if you need more, put a 2. Put a 7 in the chat if you understand. If you don't, put a 2. You don't gotta agree. Just tell me if you understand. Because I quite frankly don't care if you agree. I've been teaching this for 7 years now. So y'all just gonna have to deal with it. All right. All praises. That's what I'm talking about. So when niggas tell you you can't cook on the Sabbath day, you're being a sinner. You're bad. You're this, you're that. Okay, cool. Just let them have it. But know in your heart, if you ain't doing nothing laborious while you cooking, if you ain't dancing, to all type of crap, like, you ain't sweating in the kitchen, going crazy, doing the hammer and stuff, jumping off the freaking couch in the counters and swinging from your kitchen lights and if you ain't doing all that while you cooking on the Sabbath day, then you good. Say that for other days of the week. You know what I'm saying? But if you straight in there, just cook a meal, go sit back down, read your Bible, watch the video, whatever it is, you ain't doing nothing wrong. I don't care what these niggas tell you. You can't be, because you didn't do anything laborious. The point of the Sabbath is to not do laborious work. If I'm not doing anything laborious, you can't make it a sin. There's nothing in the Bible that says you cannot cook on the Sabbath day. There's actually something in the Bible that says Levites are going to cook every Sabbath day with a big old fire to burn incense and offerings, which also means you can have a fire. But again, if you can't, y'all better start walking to camp. Because even your electric car got a spark plug, nigga. Didn't know that, did you? Yeah. They need a spark to start your battery, buster. So, yeah, every vehicle, no matter what it is, electric or gas, you're going to have to start a fire. You cut your heat on, fire. So y'all going to be some cold, skinny mother truckers. Right? Okay? So, yeah. ISUPK going to be the biggest camp as far as weight. Because them niggas ain't walking. But the rest of y'all better be walking. All y'all better be knocking me size by the end of next month. Because ain't no way any of y'all should weigh more than us if all of y'all niggas is walking to camp now. And y'all don't exercise. The way she just fall off you. Right? Real talk. You got to see it. Right? Because it's not fair for y'all to keep telling us we can't cook on the Sabbath day, but you get to keep driving your car to camp. That's not fair. Make it make sense. So that's all I got, man. I just wanted to point that out. You know what I'm saying? So, and as you see, once again, kindling a fire back in the day, 4000 BC when Moses was around. There's no easy way to do it. It's only this, right? I think not having technical difficulties. So, but yeah, that's what it is, man. So glad y'all don't have any questions. This man, Ariah says 7 and 2. What you need help with, Ariah? You need us to clarify something? If you need clarification, let us know, brother, before I get off of here.
What he's asking about 2. What was it? What was the options?
7 and 2. It was 7 if you understand, 2 if you need more clarification.
Oh, okay.
He put 7 and 2. So I want to know what do you need more clarification on. Con, I hope so too.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. Taking notes. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're in class, right? I usually remind everybody about that too. Make sure you have your notebook, your notepads, your markers, your Bibles. Because you're supposed to be taking notes, just like in school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
hey, Araya, put it in the. If you aren't able, okay.
Say more is always good. Will I just repeat it one more time? All right.
Okay,
so
kind.
Basically, excuse me. So basically, in fact, read Exodus 35, 1 through 3 one more time, and then we'll go from there. Just to summarize it one more again.
God, let me get back. Salaki, I should have kept it up.
All right, it's cool. I'll say this then while you do that. So when you go to Exodus 20 and Exodus 35, you see Moses giving the breakdown to the people. First the elders, and then the Most High is explaining it in Exodus 20 and everything like that, right? But then it's like a second telling damn near to people in 35 after he talks to the elders, and he's explaining to them a little bit more specific ruling on the no working on the Sabbath day, right? In 35. When you read verses 1 through 3, he tells them specifically, don't do no work, but then don't kindle no fire throughout your habitations. And then goes into something completely different from working, right? And the Sabbath. Because the point of the Sabbath was to work. He mentions the kindling of fire because kindling of fire was an action that took work back then during that time, right? Before he reads this, I'm going to show this one more time. So if you look at the definition or the action rather of kindling a fire today in 2025, it's not anything laborious, right? Just like cooking today in 2025, starting your fire, it's not anything laborious, right? Once again, the point or the sin that comes from breaking the Sabbath day is doing laborious work, right? That was the main thing. Then there were other things like buying and selling, right? But when it comes to the work part, because buying and selling don't apply to what we're talking about. So the work is what we're talking about here, right? So kindling a fire today starts with easy, ignitable tinder, dry at the base, then a thin small layer of sticks over it, crisscross or a TP shape, allowing airflow, and then you light it, right? That's it. That's all it takes, right? Blow on it, allow for oxygen to get through, all that type of stuff. Real easy today. But when you look at kindling a fire in 4000 BC, the only method they had, because ain't no big lighters, ain't nothing to really just and start the fire real easy like we have today. Today they even have fire starters, right? So you could do the percussion method, but you start the fire literally in 2 swipes. So there's technology we have now that they didn't have back then, right? Your percussion method back then, you'd be clacking stones together. If any of y'all took 2 stones and ever clapped them, tell me how you ever made a fire. I'm sure you never did, because it's not that easy. So, like, you got to strike the stones. You got to iron pyrite, create sparks, put the sparks against the tinder, right?
Blow on it.
And then you got to blow on it. And, like, you got to do all that work. It's work. This is work.
Now
so,
you're breaking a sweat.
Yeah, that's that, right? So you got kindling a fire 2025, easy. Kindling a fire 4000 BC, hard work, right? So those are the 2 things. Now, when we get into Exodus 35, right? Go ahead and read that.
Con. It's the book of Exodus 35, chapter 35 and verse 1. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which the Lord hath commanded, that ye shall do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Verse 3, ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
So work, put to death. Don't kindle no fire, because it's work. So he's giving him a warning. If you work, you're going to die. Hey, and don't be kindling no fires either, because that's going to count. That's literally what's happening here. Read the next verse so they can see it's not even going to talk about nothing else like that. Go ahead.
Verse 4, and Moses spake unto all the congregation of Israel, congregation of the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord commanded, saying, take ye from among you an offering unto the Lord.
See, so now you're going into something different.
Yep.
You feel me? So the fire with the work. He tells them, if you guys do any laborious work, you're going to die. Don't be killing no fire. Why? Because it's laborious work. But now if we kindle the fire, it's not laborious. Why were the Levites able to cook on the Sabbath day? Because their fire is not supposed to ever go out. The fire is always supposed to go before the Lord. That's how he stayed within the temple, right? That shows he's there. So the fire the Levites had never supposed to die.
They just add it.
They just add to it to keep it going, right? That's no different than Yahushua picking up the sticks, which is why it wasn't a problem for him to do it in Matthew. He was doing something that the Levites had to do during the time of Moses to keep the fire going for the Lord. That's common sense. Can't make something a sin for one person and not a sin for everybody else. It's one law for all, even Yahushua. He is the law. So when you take all of these things into account and then add the fact that there's no laborious work that comes from starting my kitchen stove or my microwave or my car. And the Levites were able to have a fire, and they're commanded to cook every Sabbath showbread and the burnt offerings forever. That means you're going to be burning and cooking something on the Sabbath day.
Right.
So the issue wasn't a fire, having a fire, or cooking or burning. It was the work of kindling the fire, which is something we're not doing today. So hopefully that explains it, Ariah, and you'll be able to go back, check it out, like you said. So, that's all I got, though.
God. Hey, hope y'all got that. It's not that hard. Not many precepts really came out to kind of prove the point that Captain was bringing out. So all praises for that. All right. We're gonna go from here. Hey, I did want to bring something up I didn't bring up before, and I'm gonna pull this up real quick so you can see it at the bottom. Everybody can see it. Those who are interested. All right. And it's this: brothers that would like to join the next prospect phase.
Oh,
all right.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Nope.
I see it.
That's
It's
weird.
kind of crazy. There it is. You don't see it?
No.
Maybe you should. I see it. I'm looking at. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see the ticker at the bottom.
I'm looking at my damn TV. I don't even see it.
I see it.
This is crazy.
Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat, family. If you see the ticker at the bottom, it'll start with saying brothers. It's gonna come back.
Oh, that's what you talking about. I thought
No, we don't have a flyer for it.
Oh,
I haven't seen a flyer for it, but
I thought you was talking about a flyer. I didn't even know you was talking about the little thing that's going up. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh yeah, my bad.
My bad. All right, my bad. So
Yeah. So no. So brothers who I was actually gonna read it. Now you threw me off, Cat.
My fault.
Threw me off. This one come back around again. Brothers that would like to join AHOS, right? We have our next prospect phase coming up. I believe it's going to be starting January 4th. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, January 4th.
January 4th. Please send us your interest through email. As you can see in the ticker, it's anointedhos@gmail.com. Going to have your name, your phone number, city, and state. In the description line, make sure you put prospect phase so we know that that's what you're asking about. All right, that's going to be starting. Next phase starts January 4th. All right, family, January 4th. Any brothers, right, that would like to join in the next prospect phase with the Anointed House of Saints, please send us your interest ASAP. All right, because it's something that we do, and we want to make sure brothers are dedicated, right, ready, and willing to do this work. Go through the prospect phase, take the test. You know what I'm saying? Everything else that goes with that. All right. So all praises for that. Also, as a reminder, again, as I said earlier, we have a feast day calendar.
So,
go ahead.
Real quick, because y'all stop pointing something out to me. I didn't mean sticks. I meant corn. Y'all shot pluck corn on the
That's right. That's right.
But same difference. So, but go ahead.
That's right. Yeah. So our feast day calendar, right?
Matthew 12.
All
right. I think that's what that is.
Our feast day calendar 2025. We have at the end of our calendar of our feast days and new moons, well, not end of new moons, but end of the feast day for 2025, as how we have it listed. Feast of Dedication. We will be gathering for Feast of Dedication in North Carolina. Brothers and sisters who would like to attend, please send us a notice letting us know you would like to attend. You can email us at anointedhos@gmail.com, or you can visit our website at AnointedHouseOfSaints.org and let us know through that platform. That will be taking place December 15th, Feast of Dedication. Also, that will take us into the new moon, which is the 10th month. That will be taking place December 19th. All right. Also, I think there were a few people that came in. Let me go ahead and give some shout outs for the ones that I did see. Right. Shalom to Sister Yolanda. Shalom to Sister Amber. Shalom to Dawaz Rib. Shalom to Brother Keziah, Brother Kawal, Successor's Journey, Keith Stringer, that 916er, and Brother Kasaja. I don't know if anyone else put anything else in there that I could see. I don't see anybody else. All right, great. All praises for that. All right, so let's do this. One more thing. I think. Since I brought up the brothers, for brothers who want to be a part of the prospect phase, I also want to let sisters know. Sisters, we need your help, right? We need your help to bring this, to build this nation. So any sisters that would like to help the brothers with Anointed House of Saints, you can also, put your brick in, right? By sending us your interest through email, anointedhos@gmail.com for our sisters ministry, and help us build, because we need you, right? We need you. We have children, we have, families, we have the younger women that need to be taught who they are and what they're supposed to be doing according to the Most High, right? So all praises for that also. I don't know if I have anything else other than Daniel. So let me go ahead and grab that real quick, and then we can let y'all get on and enjoy the rest of your week, this week. Right now, I'm a little jealous because there are those who don't have the snow that I have, because there's a lot of snow up here where I'm at. I mean, a lot of snow.
I ain't jealous. I don't want that junk. I'm straight.
I am, because, man, getting up, and I got up this morning, man, it was 3 degrees. Just think about that. 3 degrees, right? I had to get up and I had to ignite my vehicle, right? And let it warm up before I took off. I had to go outside, start the car up, come back inside, let it warm up for about 10, 15 minutes before I could go anywhere. I do not like that. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let me go ahead and get Daniel 7 and 18.
You're sleepy, bro.
Hey, remember to like, share, and subscribe this class. If you need to, come back to this lesson, go over it, take the notes if you didn't take notes tonight, you know what I'm saying, and get this understanding of if we can cook or not on the Sabbath, all right? But here we go. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7.
There you go. And if you don't agree with us, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? We ain't tripping about it. It's just this is something we've taught for years now at this point. Yeah. So, just wanted to reiterate it since we had the conversation and there was clubhouse debates and stuff about it. So, yeah. So I mean, y'all could disagree with what UPK does as far as their Sabbath day cookout, but you can't call it a sin, so to speak. Make sense?
That's right.
Yeah, that's why. All right.
Hey, Sister Rose, you're right, but I think that snow hitting you before it hit us. Ain't you on the other side of the lake from me? I want to say Wisconsin. That snow coming through your way before it get to me across that lake.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, depending on the weather pattern. That's right.
Yeah, sometimes it be like that.
Us up here in the Midwest.
I don't know what happened this year. I heard Michigan got it first this year, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got it bad, man. It's bad, and it's just sitting too, like 12 inches, just like sitting. Look out in the back patio, it just got snow like this.
I ain't going.
Like, it's crazy, man. But anyway, all praises. It's all good. It's all good. I was born and raised in the Midwest. Just as you get older, I think your blood get thinner. So maybe that's the reason why I ain't liking it no more.
My dad moved down there way before he got old because he said the blood was getting thin. So I don't know about that.
Right. Okay, let's go ahead and get this Daniel 7:18, and we're gonna wrap it up for y'all. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Hashem, Mashiach Yahushai. Yo, as always, I enjoy these classes because they're edifying, and when you take notes, it kind of sticks to you a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, what do you say? Get that workout? Yeah. I had to shovel some snow last week, soldier. I had to shovel some snow last week. You know what I'm saying? And actually, it felt kind of good because it was a nice little workout. You know, get them shoulders and them arms going. You know what I'm saying? It warmed me up a little bit. So all praises for that too. But all right, so hey, we want to say thank you again for being here. Make sure you stay with AHOS through the week. We got something new coming up on Wednesdays. Not going to say it yet, but it'll be coming around the corner pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. But we do have our other classes. We have our Torah portion with Captain Jonathan. We have Friday night focus with a lot of our soldiers and officers, and then back around for Sabbath morning brew. So stay tuned, stay focused, stay with us. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that you have a great rest of your week. With that, I'm Officer Knock.
I'm cold. Whoo-wee. Sheesh. The aristocrat.
Yeah. And we are Anointed House of Saints. Hey, until next time, family. Until next time. Shalom. Have a blessed evening.
Shalom.
Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music.